that's about it for the ExactFlat workflow. So we've got our part over here. When we're all done our patterning, if we want to export this to a database for use with ExactFlat standalone or production manager, we can do that from within SolidWorks. And when we export our part to a database, we are taking our saved part here, our pattern that we see in view markers here. We are taking this pattern, this nest, we are exporting that to a database. We can then use ExactFlat standalone or production manager to nest multiple parts together on the exact same material for a more efficient nest. So the first step is to actually export your part to a database. So when we are ready to export our marker to a database for use with ExactFlat standalone, we can do that just by clicking the Export Pieces button here. This is going to open up the export properties. And all we do is click the Export button, and that will export a new revision of our part to the database for use with ExactFlat standalone. Once our part has been exported, we can then start up ExactFlat standalone. It is accessible from the Windows Start menu. Usually if you start typing standalone, it's the first item in the list. Let's go ahead and click on standalone, and that will open up the application. First thing we're going to do is click the Markers and Nesting button, and this will bring us into the marker interface. When we exported our part to the database, it was exported as a marker set. So we are going to click the Marker Sets button. And from here, we can create new marker sets. Every time we export a marker set, it shows up in the list here. So the last item here is our chair file, and we can see our different revisions that have been exported to the database. If we want to create a new marker set that combines multiple parts, we click the Add button here. This will create a new marker set. We will give our marker set a name. And now we can import different parts into our marker set by clicking the Import Part button. We will first pick our chair. And we have a couple other parts here. We are going to pick our automotive seat file. And we are also going to pick our automotive headrest file. All three of these parts were created using the leather material, so they will all be combined onto a single marker. Once we have imported all of our parts, we can click the Done button to save our changes and switch over to Marker View. Now we are in Marker View. We can see we have one single leather marker. Over here in our piece filter, we can see we have our pieces for our three different parts. And in our piece list, we can see we have our headrest pieces, followed by our car seat pieces, followed by our chair pieces. The most useful way to use Production Manager is to change the grouping options from no group to group by part. And this will color code all the pieces for each part as a unique color. From here, all of the operations are exactly the same as ExactFlat for SolidWorks. We can start up automatic nesting by clicking the Nest button here. We can adjust our piece constraints over here. So if we wanted to add multiple copies of each piece, we can do so. We will add 10 copies of each piece. Now we can add all of our pieces to the document. And now we can do automatic nesting with Fraunhofer. We'll keep our max runtime at 1 minute. And when we click the Nest button, very quickly Fraunhofer is going to take over and start nesting all of our pieces together. Because we grouped our pieces by part, we can see that they are also being nested as grouped parts. So all of our headrest pieces are being nested up front, followed by our car seat pieces. And lastly, our chair pieces are being grouped in the rear. Once nesting has finished, we can accept our changes. And then we can export our nest as a DXF. And that's it for Production Manager.